Shalom and welcome to another episode in our series called Israel on Location. Where's my location today? Herodium. It's a palace fortress built by King Herod. It would be his burial location, and behind me is Bethlehem. Have you ever built anything just so that you at the end could destroy it? That's exactly what happened to this theater that we're going to visit and the receiving or reception or royal room. Behind me, you can see the steps that would have gone up to the top of Herodium. This was a hill made into even a higher artificial hill by Herod the Great. It was one of his palace fortresses. He had one at Masada, one at Machaerus in Jordan today, and this one. And the archaeologists and those who have restored this site have done a really wonderful job in terms of recreating what was here before it was destroyed by Herod the Great prior to his death. Now I'm just going up this far, up these steps there. There's a lot of them, but they're over there about right here is where Ehud Netzer, the archaeologist, he's now passed, but he discovered a chamber with 3 sarcophagi. One of those sarcophagus, he believes, was the sarcophagus or the tomb of Herod the Great. And as Herod the Great died in Jericho, in fact, you know what? Maybe we can even take a look, because the visibility is quite good. We can almost see the Dead Sea right there. And that's the area where Jericho is. So before we move down to the theater, Herod the Great died there, and then his body was transported to Herodium, which was this palace fortress, but under his decision, the theater that we're going to sit in, and also this receiving room that is actually now right behind me. This is glass, and it's darkened now, but that's where a very, very impressive room was. While Herod was alive, there was unbelievable frescoes there. You can just see some of them even still today. But what we're going to do is just sit in this small theater. Take a look around us. There's the small theater. When he died, all of this mountain was supposed to be his mausoleum, so he destroyed the theater, destroyed the royal room, and there was really nothing left. All of this was under rubble. But there, as you can see, over my shoulder is the area. It's not this first hill, but behind it, and a little lower, is the area of Bethlehem. There's someone famous born in Bethlehem. His name was Yeshua, Jesus. But as we come down to this theater, let's just have a seat here and just consider Herod the Great. He was a master builder. At least his engineers were, right? He had a lot of things going on. Temple in Jerusalem, Caesarea, a port. All these palace fortresses. And this one was special because he knew that his body was then, after he passed, he was going to be buried here. So this small theater really, to me, is sort of a sad commentary on his life. And it's sad because this guy who was, again, instrumental in these massive building projects, but yet he was a lousy guy. And certainly, Herod the Great, as we know from the biblical story, was the one who ordered boys under the age of 2 in Bethlehem to be put to death. So here Herod, the king of Judah, was one who wanted Jesus, this new king who was born in Bethlehem, witnessed by the shepherds, proclaimed by the angels, and yet Jesus escapes this ruling and really was one who, I think, threatened Herod the Great. But really, as we bring this to a close here on location, Herod the Great, king of Judah, was so scared about this new king who would ultimately be the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, right? Jesus would live a life of humility. He would be born, again, right behind me, in that area of the hills and slightly behind me, in the area of Bethlehem. And Jesus would grow up in Nazareth. He would serve for 3+ years. Officially, he would come to Jerusalem, which really is in sight behind me as well. On top, when we get to the top with our group, we'll be able to see the 3 towers of the Mount of Olives. But here on location at Herodium, let's take one more quick look at the theater that eventually was destroyed to make this whole mountain his mausoleum. And that room there too, behind me, the receiving or royal room, also destroyed. All that work, really, for it to be brought down and destroyed. But here today on location, we can appreciate that Jesus has come, born in Bethlehem. King Herod was no match for him, and certainly Jesus represents the ultimate source of life for us as we place our faith in him. So Herod the Great died a sad man, I think, even though he accomplished a lot in his building. But yet, through Christ, we can accomplish a lot for him and the kingdom, and understand that here on location we can consider the big difference between Herod the Great and the one born right near us, just to the west, Jesus, who came to give his life for us. So thanks for hanging out on location with me here at Herodium, and I hope you're having a great day. Until next time, shalom.